Hello, this is the Guys Gotta Gotti podcast. Um, we know all about Gotti. This is our third episode, and we're so glad for you to join us. My name is Austin. It's my co-hosts Dennis and Joe,
And we stay knowing about Gotti.
Hey everyone, this is Joe here. This is Dennis and Austin as well.
and I'm Austin, and that's Dennis.
Yes, I'm Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
Well, what's been going on since the last recording, guys? What have you been up to? Anything exciting?
Not much.
Oh, I don't know. We just happened to, go to the annual out on the Pine Barrens
That's right.
last month. Here, let me just share a little picture here
Got to
of us, one of our
bump some
fans took.
elbows with some fans.
Big news. We were acting like everything was boring, but in between the last time you've heard us and this time, we had a huge live event for Guys Gotta Gotti fans out in the Pine Barrens. The first annual, or the first Gotti annual.
And I heard from a lot of the locals, this is the first time they've ever heard of something even like this.
Yeah, they didn't know why we were there, a lot of them, but once they kind of, smelled the food and kind of saw the, economy sized bags of chips there on the picnic tables, they they got the idea. And we met this nice young man, Corey, who was kind enough to take this picture for us uh after our panel.
He was a huge
Um
fan, and shout out to him wherever he is.
yeah, he found us. So
And I kind of wish that DVD I had to give away, I wish it could have gone to Corey instead of that other thug.
Yeah, that's true.
a very strange person on that strange show. Um but it's over now, and now we were able to sort of tack back to center and find our people again.
They for a bunch of Gotti fans, they did not like the fireworks.
No, I, you know, I've shot fireworks off in the woods my whole life, and
You
I
got to
don't
do it at
know,
night.
right? And sometimes you can't see what you're lighting, and the Roman candle hits some brush, but we took care of that quickly, and yeah, very strange. It's like they didn't understand Gotti, they didn't get it.
Well, they were complaining about how dry everything was, but in the end, no harm, no foul. Big, exciting event. There were no forest fires. So that's a success in my eyes.
The Airbnb did tell me not to come back, but we can still we get another one.
But that didn't have anything to do with the fireworks, though.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
honestly thought you were only allowed to stay in a thing like that one time.
That's how I like to travel anyway. You don't want to stick around. You want to see the different sites. Maybe there's a place across the other side of town and that's got an extra bathroom. Maybe you want to try that one out. Maybe this
Yeah.
one has a little breakfast nook or um triple bunk beds. Maybe the last one only had the double bunk beds. It's good to mix it up.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I
and a
wouldn't go
hotel.
back to that. It's you want the uniqueness, you want to have a new experience every time.
Yeah, it's not like a Hilton or something like that. We're not gonna go keep going back to see Melanie's apartment, on 1864 West 14th Street in Quiet Springs, New Jersey. We're not gonna do that or give out her email or anything like that. But
Right.
you don't need to go. I don't need to see that set up again. So who cares if whatever we did to it, or what those people that we brought there did
Yeah,
to
that
it.
wasn't us.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know those people. I don't know what they could have been capable of. So whatever. Cool with Corey, cool with me.
Yep. In the end, a big success.
It was.
We love you, Corey. Thanks for coming out. Um, we'll give you details for the next one. Bring one of those friends you were talking about.
Now, a lot of the feedback that we were getting from people was, why didn't we do this on the 4th of July? Um, what do you want us to say?
I mean, we're busy people. Uh we have things to do. Would we and when that person said that to us, it was like it really kind of brought the mood down for about 3 or 8 minutes until we were able to say what we had to say and he left. But uh, in hindsight, it would have been really cool. I'll just leave it at that. It would have been we'll remember that. And because obviously we tried to make it 4th of July, but I guess that wasn't enough for some people.
Right.
Like the Forest Service or whoever that guy was. Um, and you live and learn. We're not perfect, and again, you don't always. Sometimes you don't have to keep your creative suggestions to yourself. I'll just say that.
Well, earlier, Austin, earlier today, you mentioned that you were at some sort of a puppet-centered event. I wondered if you could tell us more about that. We did get a lot of negative feedback from the puppeteering community after our last episode. Where they seemed to think that we were, derisive toward them. I mean, we did say that puppeteers weren't tough, but I think that was just in a sense of them versus like mobsters and whatnot.
I was at this parade down in the city square, and I saw some real weird stuff. I still don't really know what it was about. I saw tall, gangly looking puppet's a good word for it. Um, just kind of it was real eerie. They were marching down the street. I don't know what it was. I don't know what they were marching for. But the weather was nice, and I was sitting, I had a nice beer sitting out there, so I had a good time. But it made me kind of gave me a weird feeling in my stomach. Um, I sat around and watched the whole thing. Seemed to be um didn't explicitly see this, but it seemed like maybe they were trying to indoctrinate, just not good stuff. Not the kind of stuff I like to enjoy. But I was kind of pulled away from the side a little bit, so I didn't thankfully get nobody tried to groom me for that parade. Um, but they had some music playing, so and it was fun, I guess. Just maybe don't do that again.
Is there any indication as to what, well, is there like an organization that is, put this together? Or that just seems
Well,
strange and kind of frightening.
I'm going to do some homework after this. I've got my work cut out for me. I'm gonna figure out who's behind it and what their intentions were. And if they are what I think they are, I don't want it to happen again. So um I'll probably show up at the city council meeting in the next few weeks, make sure my voice is heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you said you were sitting off to the side, man. Thank God. Did you ever make eye contact with an active puppet?
I
A puppet
caught
that I don't like
caught
it.
like a side eye and it sent chills.
I don't like that. No. And if it's a parade of them, and I don't know, where does the parade go? Where do they end? Did they go? do they-
They just kept going, man. It was
Where do they come from? Was it?
unfortunately I was at the start, so I could even kind of see where it was happening. Um and then I all just in front of me, just one after the other.
I mean, I love a parade. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I mean,
I
Fourth
know
of July parades,
you're a
Yeah.
big parade guy. Yeah, we're all big
Parades are
parade
great.
guys. Yeah, puppet parade. I don't know how I'd react, and I don't. It's not a. We're. It's like a more of a. There's not a big puppet culture around where I'm at. You really kind of have to kind of get out of town for that sort of thing. I guess. I don't know. Maybe maybe it wasn't even a. Maybe they just showed up and started their parade. I don't know how these things operate.
Here's the thing with that. We didn't start this podcast to get into politics.
No, you're
So
right.
all these groomers and these sickos don't push us.
I don't like talking about puppets too long.
I don't know.
yeah, the politics side of it's been kind of a unforeseen um kind of side thing. I don't think any of us have expected to be as involved in our communities as we are now.
Well, you know,
Sure, there's not a ton of groups or whatever, there aren't a ton of like politically aligned groups that we are trying to target or that we're necessarily going against. We are freedom loving people and we want people to have the freedom to do what it is they do. But if you're some sort of sicko and you start to push this stuff, you know, just
yeah,
stop.
I think as long as we focus on what our spirit is, and I think our spirit is exemplified just by Fourth of July. It's if you look at Austin's background right now, this is who we want to be. This is where this is really what we're even, when we find ourselves with these difficult questions about what to do with puppets and what's happening with the puppets, and then, we don't have to think too hard about it. We just focus on Old Glory and family, and we can just kind of let that guide us.
Hey, give me one second. I gotta go yell at my neighbor real quick.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess if there was a group like that, uh, yeah, I mean puppeteers. I don't want to stir that thing up again, but you know,
Yeah,
you
I didn't
just
I didn't want to say mention this with Austin around. So did you ever see that movie with the haunted puppet? Oh, never mind.
I hope you couldn't hear that. I've yelled at that guy uh a few times this week to get him to shut up, and he will not listen. But I think I got him this time.
no, I did. We didn't catch any of that, but I'm sorry that you're having to deal with it.
Was he in pain? Was that
He was
scream?
loud.
It was definitely okay. Asked and answered.
Well, so the thing that I really, and the thing that we want to talk about and what we want to get into, we talk about the movie Gotti, and normally we focus on John and all his exploits. But today we're going to focus on Victoria, a ray of sunshine in the Gotti universe, and all the things that she accomplished. And, just something maybe for the ladies in our audience that might interest them. Victoria DiGiorgio Gotti. She was married to John,
Such a
and
beautiful name.
it is. It's a lovely Italian. It's very regal sounding, Victoria. You know,
Kind of
and
sounds to sound like a pizza to you, DiGiorno.
oh, that's true.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not delivery. It's DiGiorgio.
Hey, that's not bad.
Uh, Now, if you remember, her nickname was Butch, and that's because she was a really tough broad. And a lot of people, one of the reasons that they thought this was because, sadly, and they address this in the movie, her child was one of her children was killed in a car accident, and they say that she was really the driving force behind um, exacting revenge on the person that did this to her kid. Now, who can blame her? Who in society can blame her?
And there's these scenes in the movie, and you could tell, you'll know when it happens. Victoria is very upset with this incident. And you could understand that. And the performance in the film is just it rips your heart out. And Victoria is, I believe it's Latin, a Latin word, has a Latin root for victory. Um, um, I took a little Latin in
Yeah.
school, and you know she triumphs over these things. And I know we always focus on John, and John is the bull with the horns, but Victoria is holding those horns pretty tightly. um and
Yeah,
like and
you got to wonder what would he have done with if she wasn't there.
I don't know. I mean, I mean, if he wasn't there, we could rest assured that little John and all the other little ones would be dressing as cops on Halloween every year.
Hmm. Gross. One of them walking around like with a ventriloquist. You think that Gottis would let that kind of thing happen? No way. But I do want to say, speaking of her portrayal in the movie, I did get to in my research, I listened to a recorded interview of Victoria, the real Victoria, and now I don't want to. I mean, no offense by this. It was difficult to understand her. She really did have a thick accent. So I appreciate the person that they got to play her in the movie. You could understand her clearly, and she did a great job. And it makes me think, they have John Travolta, and he does great. I mean, you could hear him clearly.
Yeah, I can hear every word, I think.
But when you think about, in the end, the real John Gotti had to have whatever his, some like a piece of his jaw was all jacked up. I can only imagine what that must have sounded like in real life. It must have been a nightmare.
I mean, they had to be, and even John, and I mean, he sounded so clear, and so his elocution and execution was a retribution on the entire justice system and how they treat prisoners. They I think he says they put a butt on his face, an ass on his face, because the stuff on it.
That must have been tough. Probably couldn't have understood a fucking word that guy was saying in real life, but I don't know. That's just a digression, and I apologize.
Well, it's important. I don't think we addressed that yet, so I think it's good that we got it on the record.
So, Victoria DiGiorgio, she did have a child from a previous marriage before she was married to John Gotti. I don't know. I don't really remember this being addressed in the movie, but they don't really go into that too much. And when you try to do a deep dive on this, you don't really find out a lot. But I did, in my research as a sort of an online sleuth, I found out that there was a guy. Now, let's be honest, these are dynamic people. They are larger than life personalities. Victoria DiGiorgio certainly didn't develop that when she married John Gotti. Okay. We know that was there from the beginning. And when he went into that bar and saw her, he was like, wow, you know what I mean? He was knocked back. So, what do you think? I don't think it is a stretch to say that her potential grandson could be an entertainer. And I found a gentleman young enough, in the right age, named Johnny DiGiorgio. Now, here's the other kicker. This guy, he almost exclusively plays gangsters. He's been in The Deuce. He's been in John Wick. He's been in Boardwalk Empire. And then he did a voice on a cartoon called Super Wings, and the character was called Trevor. And what does Trevor do? He acts up in the description of the episode. And it sounds to me like Trevor's kind of a badass.
Sometimes these Italian guys act up.
Oh yeah.
That's a insane research, and we might actually want to clip this out of the final podcast, because if you're gonna want to write like a paper on this, or like I don't know, get it to someone,
I wonder, we might be able to
publish on Netflix or something.
I'll submit this one to the Webbies.
Well, and I appreciate that. And Joe, you bring up an interesting point, because some of this research that I've been doing after the fact, I found out that there was a documentary. I guess I won't name where it's streamed, because we don't, why give, an endorsement to our competition. But apparently there was a documentary, and this was fairly recent, called Get Gotti. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of trademark infringement. And so I am first I am researching what it means to seek counsel. A lot of people have told me, use those words when talking to me throughout various periods of my life. And so now I'm going to finally figure out what that means, because I know it has to do with the law. And, if somebody's out there sort of riding on the coattails of what we're doing, We need to put a stop to it.
I know what you're talking about. I cannot afford to watch unnamed streaming service. Uh it does let you if you're not paying for it, it does let you watch a trailer. I watched the trailer and I said, "Get off my TV," and I turned it off.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me right now?
No, sir.
Get Gotti?
That's what it's called.
That's so lame sounding. I mean, got sounds so much better than get to start off with. And then like who's getting Gotti? Is it
You would be so blessed to get Gotti.
yeah, no shit. You know,
I get it, man. I was speechless for several minutes.
I'm sorry.
fuck, I'm hungry for that Webby, man. Now that you mentioned that Webby,
I'm just
gotta get that Webby.
that worked me up.
Yeah. Now, I just want to finish this up in our celebration of Victoria Gotti. We know that she had many accomplishments. We know that her children accomplished many things too, including Victoria Jr., which is kind of humorous, but I guess that's how it works. You know, the same for women as men. You know, she worked with charity a lot. She wrote for TV shows. She starred on some TV reality shows. And
I got something here. Um, she also this is kind of crazy. She also appeared in the films Jerry Maguire and The Cat in the Hat, so that's pretty neat.
yeah, that's impressive stuff. So we
She
know
was in
these guys,
Catman?
they're larger than life personalities.
Cat in the Hat's one of my favorite movies. I don't know how I didn't.
The
I
is the
digress.
real person one, not there's a cartoon I think too.
Yeah, the cartoon one's fucking shit. I like the Mike Myers one.
Yeah, that's the better one.
That's my shit.
And that's the one that she was in.
No
Yeah.
wonder. I
Okay.
probably yeah. Of course, it all adds up.
Sometimes those movies that are being cartoons, everybody looks a little weird, so maybe she's one of those.
Yeah, hope so.
Unfortunately, we do know what happened to Frank. You know, he was, may he rest in peace. But then their children, Angela and Peter, have eschewed the life in the spotlight. And so we don't really have a lot of information about them. But once again, I put on my detective badge and I put on my, you know, the thing where it goes, you have the gun, it's like two things and then a gun here. And then there's
Oh,
like
that was so awesome.
a thing across the back. So I put on my detective gun thing and I went sleuthing. And again, what I did this time was, you know, these guys, they don't want to be in the spotlight. So if you were a Gotti, what would you do? You probably change your name, right? So I made as many anagrams from the last names as I could. And I found some people that I think are probably the Gotti children. And here's what they've been up to. There's Angela Gito, Gitto, and she works in administrative services for the Diocese of Trenton, New Jersey. Come on.
Yeah.
You think I'm barking up the wrong tree there?
Archdiocese, Godfather 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, there's no picture of this person on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Huh.
That's sus.
Guess they missed that one.
And then I found a guy named Peter, and his last name is Giotto, Giotto. And he makes gelato. Okay. This is the most
Giotto makes. You're telling me Giotto makes gelato?
Gelato. I mean, this has got Italian written all over it, right?
Huh.
Yeah, something stinks.
He's got a picture. Now he does have a picture on the internet, and he is an older gentleman. And he's got a little, you know, he's got a cool like fedora, and his shirt's kind of unbuttoned. So again, you know, to me, just kind of screams like Italian guy at you. You know, and here's the thing though.
Probably does scream at you too.
Well,
These
yeah, I don't know.
these guys.
You order the wrong gelato, who knows what'll happen to you. But the only thing about this is this guy lives in Australia. So I'm of two minds. He could have said, I got a bolt. I don't want, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be in any of that. Or, this could just, could just be a guy. It could be coincidence. But I got a good feeling. So I mean, the crazy thing about this, and all after reading about all this, honestly, if you think about it, John Jr. is probably the least successful of the children, in a weird way, even though he's prominently featured in the movie. But I don't fault the movie for that.
And we all signed off on this a couple days ago, but you got your itinerary to get to Australia, and you're going to be there for like couple weeks, right?
I'm gonna try, yeah, definitely.
You're gonna hit up these people.
There's a lot of like there's a lot of vaccines I got to get, a lot of shots I got to get, and I do want to.
They won't let you bring fruit either. Just to let you, yeah.
I'll probably just fucking slam a bunch of American fruit before I get on the plane. And I am going to bring my cats. So I'm going to have to sit in like a hotel room or some shit with them for several weeks. But it should be fine.
It'd be worth it though.
Yeah. And then,
sounds like this gelato guy is definitely worth looking into. Maybe give him the scare, put the fear of God in him, and just see what he says.
So the things I was looking for is like American accent. I'll definitely drop some hints, and I'll bringing up 4th of July, be bringing up Halloween. Like, hey, did you ever dress like a crazy thing for Halloween? That kind of stuff.
See, maybe ask if he's ever dressed as a cop.
You think I should be that direct?
Maybe.
Ooh, man, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll be good to get eyes on him though.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that's really all I found, and I'm very happy that we celebrated Victoria Gotti on this fine day, a perfect day to do it. And I guess I'll just wrap it up by saying, Joe, did you get to see your mom today?
Oh yeah. We always have a big Mother's Day. I always bring over a bunch of big flower and nice card, and we go out and we have a nice early dinner, and it was lovely. It was a gorgeous day. We ate al fresca, and everyone had a great time. How about you? How about you, Dennis? Did you have a nice Mother's Day today?
I did. I got to see my mom. Unfortunately, she had to work. And as you remember, she is the manager of Domino's. So I went to see her, and they do have that thing where you can only park in the thing for like 30 minutes. So, I mean, it was a great visit. I didn't get to stay for very long. But we will be having some pizza later tonight after she gets off work.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
All right.
That's great.
Austin, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just now realizing I was supposed to be smoking a ham for my mom. And I think that takes 5 or 6 hours, maybe longer. And it was we were actually supposed to be there or about 3 hours ago. So
yeah.
Wait.
My phone's dead, so I haven't seen anything.
Wow.
Maybe I'll go get some pizza from your mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say go ahead and get on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can still get some flowers at Piggly Wiggly if they let you in there anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of. But yeah, so I need to get out of here. But thank you for joining us. I think that was a pretty good episode. We're gonna try to do these a little more frequently. Because I mean, the movie deserves it. And we've got a lot to talk to say about it. Oh, shoot, my mom's calling.
All right, yeah, definitely. See you guys next time. Corey, shout out to you wherever you are. Have a good one.
Corey.
Bye, Corey.
Bye.